left us. He forgot us. He don't remember us. He don't care about us. He don't want us. He don't need us. He don't value or appreciate us. Sitting here messing with y'all. Hello, viewers. Morning. Another beautiful day. Hope your processes work. Health and strength is good or excellent. Yep. All right. Let's talk video games here. You know, Nintendo Corporation. Did you create Animals? Did you ever create Animals? See, you really don't have a case here with this Palworld lawsuit. You filed it after Pocket Pair came out, and then you try to change the rules while the case is happening. So you have no case. What Pocket Pair should have done was stand on their 10 toes, stand on their 10 feet, on their feet, 10 toes, and never changed. And they should have never took the flight mechanics out or the transportation mechanics out of our Palworld, because this lawsuit make no sense. Nintendo had Pocket Pair remove the transportation mechanics or the mounting mechanics of the of the PALs. That's like Nintendo telling Rockstar, like, okay, in your Red Dead Redemption 3, you can't ride a horse. You're gonna walk on foot. Okay? That's like Nintendo telling the creators of Avatar, let's say they make an Avatar 3. Oh, you can't ride those dragons anymore. This is how far they try to take it, but they start off small with Pocket Pair. So their whole case is jealousy and envy. And like I've always told viewers, open world games are the best because you can go in different directions and do what you need to do in video games and make the games a lot more fun. And no modern games are not boring, or modern games is dead, or all this fake news that people be trying to put out there that's trying to make something stick and it's not sticking. Nintendo open world games are the best. So with me saying this, you're saying, okay, Chris, what are you getting at? All right, I got a nice little article, from Game Developer for you to hear. Yeah, a nice one. Phone, tablet. Yeah. Anyway, so what do I got here? Let's see here. Go on Game Developer's website here and listen to this. This has to deal with Grounded 2. Okay, listen to this. It's loading up here. Almost there, but anyway. The Nintendo's lawsuit against Pocket Pair is about jealousy and envy. They really didn't have a case here. But what Nintendo tried to do is they try to stop game creativity in our game development. That's why you see Digimon is making a comeback, and guess who joins the Palworld argument now? Listen to this. Phone, tablet. Listen to this. Grounded 2 exists because players really wanted to ride bugs. Grounded 2 exists because players wanted to ride bugs, meaning that they wanted to ride insects, ants, centipedes, lizards, reptilians, amphibians. Yeah. Grounded 2. So the Palworld lawsuit is a waste of time. Nintendo was trying to stop game creativity and game development. And now you got Digimon coming back. And now you got Grounded. Of course, there's World of Warcraft, but we don't see Nintendo going at them. Bandai Namco is bringing back Digimon, a new one, open world. Yeah. And like I said to you before, open world games are the best. Listen to this. It says here, Grounded 2 lead Chris Parker and Justin Vasquez distill the trials and tribulation of early access and explain how insects mounts are the key to everything. Insect mounts are the key to everything. Transportation is very important in video games. Yeah. Whether you're doing it mechanically through cars, buses, and trucks and planes and all that, but also animals. And that's what Nintendo tried to stop with Palworld. But Pocket Pair should have stand on their 10 toes and told them, go kick rocks. Anyway, says here, Obsidian Entertainment's shrunk the kids, not Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Again, this year with the early access launch of Grounded 2, which has touched down around 3 years after the original Grounded launch. It's a fairly swift and return to franchise for Obsidian, which continues to be one of Microsoft's most prolific internal studios since being acquired by the Xbox maker in November of 2018. The Irving outfit has released an impressive roster of titles including Pentiment, Avowed, Grounded, and The Outer Worlds. A sequel for latter will be dropping in October. It says the studio's other sophomore efforts, Grounded, is already available in Xbox Game Preview and Steam Early Access. What pushes Obsidians to revisit the little becomes large world of Grounded, with so many other irons already in the fire. It says two words: insect mounts. Yeah, insect mounts. Yeah, so you got to mount insects in Grounded. Anyway, let me see if I can get here. It says during the interview, game developers on Gamescom show floor, Grounded 2 director Chris Parker and creative director Justin Vasquez from Eidos Montreal, which is the co-developing the sequel alongside Obsidian, suggesting a little might not exist if player hadn't insisted upon bestriding bugs. It says here, this was the main feature we wanted to bring to the game, says Vasquez. It was the #1 request from the community, and it was the biggest justification as to why we want to create a new world in Grounded 2, even if the team had wanted to do it in the first one. The world wasn't built to support it. Then it says Vasquez explained that mounts and appropriately named buggies by dev had to be designed in hand with the environment itself. We often say we couldn't have done buggies without the park, and we couldn't have done the park without the buggies, he added. It says on paper it might sound like a mechanic that's fairly easily implemented, but adding mounts to a title like Grounded 2 impacts the experience in a massive way. Parker explained that if you make buggies too fast when they travel on foot, instantly becomes punishing. But if they feel too sluggish, you'll have players questioning why they were included in the first place. Once you've figured out how fast you want the bugs to go, then you have to figure out how far apart you want the different points of interest in the world. He continues, then you have to tune both of these things hand in hand at the same time. You have the same sort of issues with combat. Once you start fighting stuff, you're balancing for both on foot combat and buggy combat. Yeah, and it says here. Anyway, but we're gonna cut it there. It's a long article, but this article proves why Pocket Pair should have stand up to Nintendo and never change the gameplay mechanics in Palworld. The Palworld lawsuit is a fake lawsuit. It's based on jealousy and envy, because in Pokemon, it's not open world. You can't ride the Pokemons. All you do is have them battle. You catch them and you train them and you battle them, but you can't use them as transportation in the game. And that's what Nintendo got jealous. That's what Nintendo got jealous of. So they try to change the rules within the lawsuit. When they filed it the first time, they never had it, and then when the case got going, they tried to change it. Now all the judge got to do now is call them out on this. Like, okay, did you create animals, and where do you get off telling developers that they can't mount or dismount or ride their animals in video games? That's the main question you ask, and that's the main question the judge should ask. So they really don't have a case when you really look at this Palworld situation, because you have Digimon that's returning in October, Digimon, and now Grounded 2, you can ride insects. Use them for combat or transportation or whatever you want to do. So if you can do that with Grounded and Digimon, then you got to ask yourself, what is Nintendo doing in court? The case makes no sense, because all they're doing is trying to stop game mechanics and game creativity, and they're trying to, and they're them picking on pocket pairs, like telling all other developers, like, well, you can't mount, or you can't use animals as transportation or for fighting, or you can't train them or pet them in video games. So this whole Palworld lawsuit, man, is it's not even worth it, man, because you're trying to hold the game industry up. You had Pocket Pair to go take the mechanics out, and you want them to use gliders like you did in Breath of the Wild. That's like you trying to dictate to them to tell them how to make a game. A studio can't do that. Okay, a studio can't tell another studio how to make a game. Every studio is independent, so they can do what they want with their game. But Nintendo try to bully Pocket Pair, and Pocket Pair need to stand on 10 toes and fight back, because you can't stop using animals as to train them, pet them, catch them, train them, pet them, use them for combat, or use them for transportation, or play with them in the video games. Can't stop none of that. So to me, this lawsuit is a wash. Is a wash. And this article now only ups the ante now in video games. All it is ups the ante in video games now. So now developers are going to be like, really? They're going to start coming out the woodworks now with all kind of games now using animals for transportation. World of Warcraft is already doing it. But now the floodgates is open, because I'm sure developers are looking at the whole Pocket Pair situation, and they're like, you're trying to tell them that they can't do this, this, and this? Okay, then we're going to do this, this, and this. And you see what's happening now. So, yeah, Digimon is coming out in, I think, October, November. And, of course, there's Grounded, too. So, and not only that, the community demanded that, too. The community demanded that. Like, wait a minute, we sitting here fighting these insects. Okay, how comes we can't ride them? How comes we can't use them for transportation? How comes we can't use them for, like, to do work or some type of thing, something of that sort? Yeah, this only raises the bar now. So Nintendo, you open a can of worms, and now developers are gonna come straight for you. Anyway, I'm gonna lay this video for y'all to enjoy, though. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, Star Trek, Board, Dark Side. Go. Peace.